Is requiring 100 hours of extra training for psychology graduates fair? Find out how the Supreme Court ruled in this landmark Philippine case on education and equality. This is the case entitled Florentina Caoyong Sobrejuanite-Flores versus Commissioners of the Professional Regulation Commission, GR number 251816, November 23, 2021.
This is the 46th case out of the 160 cases decided by Associate Justice Mario Lopez, chairperson of the 2024 Philippine Bar Examinations. Follow for more.
Facts of the case. Republic Act No. 10029, the Philippine Psychology Act of 2009, mandated a licensure examination for psychologists. Section 16 of this act provided an exemption for certain psychologists, subject to conditions. The Professional Regulatory Board of Psychology, BOP, of the Professional Regulatory Commission, PRC, established additional criteria in the IRR, including a requirement of 100 hours of updating workshops and training programs for bachelor's degree holders in psychology. Florentina Caoyong Sobrejuanite-Flores applied for registration without examination but was denied by the BOP and PRC, citing insufficient work experience and failure to update her professional education. Florentina argued that she had over 10 years of relevant experience and contended that the 100-hour requirement was unconstitutional. The Court of Appeals upheld the PRC and BOP's decision, leading to Florentina's appeal to the Supreme Court. Primary issue in the Supreme Court. Whether Section 16(c) of the IRR of Republic Act No. 10029, requiring bachelor's degree holders in psychology to complete additional updating workshops and training programs, violates the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution.
Supreme Court's decision. The Supreme Court denied the petition, affirming the Court of Appeals' decision. The court ruled that Section 16(c) of the IRR did not violate the Constitution. It held that the additional requirements for bachelor's degree holders in psychology were reasonable and necessary to ensure competent practice in the field. The court emphasized the importance of keeping practitioners updated with the latest developments in psychology.
Important doctrines discussed. 1. Non-delegation of legislative power. The Supreme Court reiterated that Congress may delegate the power to determine facts or state of things upon which the law intends to make its action depend, as long as the legislation is complete and establishes a sufficient standard for implementing bodies. 2. Rational basis test for equal protection. The court applied the rational basis test, which requires that the classification made by law must be reasonable and not arbitrary. It emphasized that the additional requirements for bachelor's degree holders in psychology were based on substantial differences in educational background and were aligned with the law's objective to ensure competent practice. 3. Police power and regulation of professions. The decision underlined the state's power to regulate professions to protect public welfare. The regulation of psychology practice was deemed necessary to protect the public from incompetence in a field significantly affecting mental health. 4. Doctrine of subordinate legislation. The court held that administrative bodies are authorized to implement the broad policies of a statute by filling in details, provided the guidelines are within the bounds set by the legislature.